headphones. That was so unbelievably loud.
Dude, I'm not streaming.
Yeah. Oh, he's not streaming right now. Let's see. Well, Double Spidey is apparently from Portugal. Would you like me to link you to his DeviantArt?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
link me to his
Jesus
DeviantArt.
God, no. Oh boy.
I'm pretty sure this is the right guy. Here, I'll just go ahead and stick this in recording. I'm giving you his gallery because that's where the fanfiction is.
Oh, the poor man.
Your first mistake, telling us. Your second, letting us know that you're actually in Portugal. Do you know how easy it is to find an account when there's 3 accounts that all say you're from Portugal?
Oh man. Oh. No longer in Portugal.
Then
you should update.
You should
then
change
you should
that
update.
Oh, this dialogue.
It deviates to me.
Oh, you should not have told us this existed, my friend.
Alright, so, let me try this again. It is a little bit past 7 now, and it's on a Tuesday, which means it's time for Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9000, as hosted by SneakyDevil, joined by Coughing Atin and the Silent Max Force. Today, as always on Tuesdays,
we found fanfiction.
We look back at older fanfictions that piqued our interest, respond to PMs as usual, and look at new shit. It is, in fact, recording on YouTube. This is being memorialized forever. In case you were wondering, you should go to devilspidey.deviantart.com to find one of the people's fanfictions we will be doing today.
Why you're actually going to put the poor lad over the coals?
Why you gotta put him in the hot seat?
That is like devilspidey.deviantart.com.
Oh, you're a terrible human being. I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom.
I don't know if I can be part
You're
of this.
You're a horrible person.
No.
At least Calvin asked for it. Where the hell is Calvin? I haven't seen him in a week anyway.
He was here last week, I think. He popped in for a few minutes.
He's been, you know, probably killed in a terror attack in Germany. Anyway, back to the PMs.
Right.
So, as always, our long history with this crazy-ass fucking author. I don't know even who the fuck this is, actually. Who the fuck is this?
You don't know
Welsh
the author's
Reaper.
name.
I was right. It is Welsh Reaper. Long history with this guy. I insulted his work. He came at me with some bullshit arguments. I shut them down and shit on him. And then he said, "Thank you, sir. Can I have some more?" So I did it again. And now here we are. He says, previously I said that he needs to get a better word processor if his word processor doesn't do spell check. And he responded with saying his laptop is the problem.
Wait, hold on. Devil Spidey has threatened to seal us alive.
I think he's trying to seal me away. Don't worry, that can't happen.
I was gonna say, as much as you might think otherwise, I promise you, he's not a demon.
Anyway, let's see. Not sure how physical hardware prevents you from using LibreOffice or Google Docs, but okay. Then I said, Athena is insane. You do a very poor portrayal of insanity. At the moment, you are portraying a cardboard cutout of, ooh, she's so crazy. To which he responded with, that's the point. She's supposed to seem all over the place. How daily do I get hate mail is the question. Actually, I would say 1 out of every 3 stories I leave a review on, I typically get hate mail from.
Yeah, so surprisingly, not all that often.
I don't leave too many reviews because sometimes I'm just so disgusted with the story, I just want to move on. But sometimes I do, in fact, leave constructive criticism and or thinly veiled insults.
Thinly veiled? That implies you even remotely try to hide the fact.
Hey, air is a veil if it's thick enough.
Sneaky! You could not be any less subtle if you had a literal fucking neon sign that said, I'm insulting you.
That's pretty subtle.
We should get him that.
I might actually just go make another GIF and just throw that up there when I'm insulting someone. Just another button to press. I'm insulting you. Just make it flash. Anyway, she's supposed to seem crazy until her crazy is understood, which I have planned out in 2 chapters.
Okay, but
that doesn't.
She's supposed to seem crazy. Writing characters crazy is a really risky business.
Like, Max and I have done a very careful balance of that, as at least I like to think. Done a very careful balance of that in our Dark Souls story, where pretty much everyone is some brand of insane. And I like to think you can tell they're crazy, but they're not like, ooh, I'm so random.
I was going to say, even the craziest one and the most random one, Valkyrie, it's very clear that she's only insane about fire and possibly sociopathic.
Possibly.
Well, okay, there's not really much of a possibly about it, but you know what I mean.
Ignore step 2. No, see, that's the steps of how to summon Sheogorath. You're doing it wrong, Devil Spidey. Crazy, quote, either fits a pattern of behavior or just bogs down the story with random stupidity. Then I said, mentioning that she had early training, because in the chapter I reviewed for him, he had the main character who's got a shit ton of other problems with them, but I won't get into that.
Well, I was gonna say we listed that, we went over that, didn't we?
But they then introduced in this chapter the main character somehow before the age of 10. Becoming a master in one of the hardest magical arts in that series. Which is a bit much. And they say, as for the training, Vila training is similar to Greek training. She wouldn't get Vila training if she was born to a family of blood purists, and they're treating her like one of them, for whatever Deus Ex reason, they wouldn't then go, yeah, no, it's cool, you can go get some Vila training over here with the Vila. the subhuman non-humans that we think are trash.
I
That's
was gonna
fine.
say, they would never let her fucking near them. Literally, she would say, Mom, can I go get some Vila training? Don't you fucking talk about the subhumans.
Well, her mom wouldn't be saying that because her mom would be a Vila.
You're right, I'm sorry. The dad would be saying, don't fucking talk about those non-humans.
How would she get Vila training? Blood purists, as I have said before, despise and hate non-humans, which Vila are. So unless this is a magical AU in which Vila are fuck buddies with blood purists, I'm not very sure how exactly you are going to explain that one. Vila think differently from humans. Yes, we know that. So although for a Vila, every Vila seems like a sociopath, they're just different. That's not canon. Which, I mean, sure, if that's your AU. Same goes for lack of concern about hurting others. It's just normal for them. Also not canon, but maybe that's their AU. For example, if Vila sees a fight that makes no sense to her, has no impact to her, she'll pay attention to what they say, if anything, and has to learn about it. What? If it's not worth her time, she'll simply walk away. So most people?
Yeah.
If it isn't worth if it matters to her, she'll get involved. How she does so depends. Simply imagine a wild, intelligent animal with human intelligence, more or less. So humans.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Nothing of what you said about Vila is canon, so I can't really comment on it. If that's your AU. Because, I mean, if it's his AU, then I just have to shrug my shoulders and go, okay, it's your AU.
Yeah.
Wild animal with human intelligence. ... So normal humans, then? More quotes in there. If the fight doesn't matter to them, they won't interfere. If it matters to them, they will interfere.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. A lot of what Athena can do won't be explained until Hermione or Harry asks her. Then it will be explained. Everyone else just accepts it. Everyone just accepts her ridiculous powers. End quote. That's part of the definition of Mary Sue. ... Define words and meanings, please. I do not know what you mean. Okay. So, I said you really need to police your language when you use certain words as they have very specific meaning.
I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick.
Alright. And by that, I meant when they said that she was a master and that she, dueled amateurly. When used in that context, very specifically means a skill level. It's not just a turn of phrase in that instance. Like, oh yeah, she's a master at it. That's turn of phrase. She is a master at transfiguration. You are a master at transfiguration. That's not turn of phrase. That is being specific about the skill level of said subject. Yeah, just accept it. That is indeed games, comics, and movies these days, Devil. That is indeed. Still, implying skill is more of a turn of phrase.
Okay, I'm back.
Used to indicate proficiency. And then I said, you really shouldn't have put the accents in there in the first place. And he said, when I do rewrite this story, I will be removing them.
Cool.
Yeah. I've said
helpful.
this before. Fuck buddies, about, canon. That's your AU. Ridiculous. That is part of. Oh, she's a master at it. Doesn't matter. Fear normal humans. There. Roll it. So that's all been spell checked. Let's send that message off. Yeah, man, you gotta spell check your responses, and I recognize that I have a problem when it comes to spelling properly, so I have a program that assists me in doing so.
What was you gonna say? I need it too.
Anyway, so before we look
especially
at
because of how
devilspidey.deviantart.com's fanfictions, we will be revisiting an oldie but goodie named Weeb. Or we can move on. Up to you guys.
I mean, we've covered it before.
Yeah,
we
that is true.
explained why we liked it. I don't think we need to go back to it again.
Fair enough. So then, because both of you are here, we can do Elder Scrolls For Honor crossover, Zootopia For Honor crossover, James Bond, Kamen Rider Rosario Plus.
Hold on, you need to back that up about 2 stories.
Elder Scrolls For Honor or Zootopia For Honor?
That one, Zootopia.
Zootopia For Honor it is.
I don't.
I will be sending out the links to everyone.
I don't know how I missed that one. I really don't know how I missed that one. When I was looking through the crossovers.
Alright, I'm sending it all out. All right. It's been sent out to everything. Yes, For Honor crossovers. They are a thing that exists, even though they shouldn't. Zootopia For Honor. Fallen Knights Retribution. One of the more memorable legions of the Knights have been found in their last stronghold. A stronghold Apollyon wants.
Apollyon.
Located in the unforgiving snow, assisted by Vikings as assistance towards a deed the Legion had done for them.
Oh my god.
That's cringy. A battle wages. Neither side seems to be letting up. That's when a centurion named Maverick and a Blackstone peacekeeper perished together in the fight.
Wait, I remember I read the summary and I thought this was the edgelordiest of edgelords. Okay, so first of all, this is just a problem in general that people need to deal with. The author has said one of the more memorable legions. Well, that makes no fucking sense because we have no idea what legion this is.
Yeah, that doesn't actually tell us anything.
Now, here's the thing. All the author would have had to say was one of the less memorable legions, and we would have been like, oh, okay, it's a legion most people don't know. Cool.
Okay, so, in case, people might be unaware, Zootopia is in fact a actual thing. It was a movie created by Disney. It had animals, anthropomorphic animals, and it told the story of a rabbit who wanted to be a cop, and then did, and
con man fox,
and then
who
shenanigans
became not a
occurred,
con
and
man.
she fell in love with a fox. Some jokes got told. No, that's not what this story is gonna be.
Well, we think it's not.
This story is going to be likely, a maverick and a peacekeeper. Sorry,
No,
centurion.
there's no such thing as a I was gonna say there's no such thing as a maverick.
The centurion and the peacekeeper dying, and be resurrected as the two main characters of Zootopia.
Or, alternately, and this is what I hope the author did, they take two people who have only ever known violence and war and dark age technology and put them in a modern city where everything's peaceful and they make a slice of life out of it. That would be fun to read.
Yeah, except this is listed as supernatural romance, so...
I'm aware, but
yeah.
I can dream.
Anyway. The hills of blanketed snow bit into the air like a virus. What?
Okay, hold on though.
Fucking what?
I'm not quite done yet with, did we already pick apart the rest of the summary? Assisted by Vikings as assistance towards a deed.
We're not even talking about that.
It needs to be talked about.
No.
It's trash.
No, we're just going to ignore that, pretend it doesn't exist, and tell everyone never to fucking ever write something like that.
Oh, no, Devil Spidey, you're not the only one who's noticed. But we've been doing this for a while. We tend to
Devil
gloss over
Spidey,
those things.
you poor innocent soul. Just wait until we get to the Harry Potter story with 325 anal tearings.
Oh god, don't bring that up.
We're not going back to that.
No, we're not going back to that. But I'm just saying it exists.
Never going back to that.
It exists, and we'll probably see some more of it soon. Someday.
But yeah, no, Devil Spidey, listen. On fanfiction.net, people combine all kinds of things.
Literally, a majority of Harry Potter stories is just fucking kinks.
Yeah.
Yes, anal tearings. He had more... We actually did the math on this, of the amount of tearing that needs to occur to be called an anal tearing. And he actually had more anal tearings than he had intestines to tear.
We don't know, but we're here to tell them that it's shittily bitten.
And report it for being,
Yes.
against the rules. Yeah. Don't worry. We've encountered pedophilia with bestiality, rape pedophilia, bestiality rape, foot fetish, cake farting fetish.
Wait, when did we run into foot fetish?
I mean, that's all the stories I skip.
Oh, right, okay. I was gonna say.
Yeah, now I'm just listing shit that I've seen in my search for shit to show.
Yeah. I was gonna say, we've also run across things like people completely...
Male pregnancy?
Oh yes, can't forget that. That's a big one in the Harry Potter universe. Also the Naruto universe.
Yeah, there's a lot of male pregnancy in the Naruto universe. And I'm frankly disturbed by it.
Yes.
And for some reason, the community's like really fixated on Aruka when it comes to male pregnancy.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure why. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget, then there's the stuff where people are like, hey, let's combine like My Little Pony and 40K, only they don't know how to write 40K. So what should happen doesn't.
Or hey, let's combine anything with 40K except they don't know how to write 40K, so then it's trash. Or just, like, hey, I'm gonna write 40K, but I don't know how to write 40K, so then they're trash.
Like the one guy who decided to make a Kriegsmarine in Ruby, only it wasn't a Kriegsmarine, it was just a Space Marine.
That acted like an Inquisitor, sometimes. Yeah, Warhammer 40K.
I think Devil Spidey means he isn't familiar with it.
For those uninitiated, Warhammer 40K is probably one of the older How old is it? It's a very old tabletop.
Yeah, it's really old.
Warhammer
Warhammer 40K, the initial release. Wikipedia, help me out.
Yeah, 1983.
1987.
83 for the original.
Oh, yeah.
87 was 40K. But, yeah, no, very old. It's got interesting lore. Tends to be very grimdarky.
Tends to be grimdarky. Sneaky. It practically invented grimdark.
This is true facts. I wouldn't be actually surprised if the word grimdark originated from 40K.
Depending on what parts of the fiction you go into, it's either a very serious, almost critical look at the horrors and futility of war and the various types of government and how life generally sucks, or it can be comedic as hell because they tried to do the first thing and they didn't do it right.
Well, I mean, those are the two that are very rare. More often than not, it ends up being grim derp, just painfully grim derp.
No. I was speaking about normal 40K.
Oh, canon. The canon, yeah.
Yeah, the canon 40K.
Yeah, no. And that a problem fans seem to have with Warhammer 40K when it comes to writing fan fiction for it is they get all this headcanon and shit in their minds when they're writing, and it gets either really grim derpy or completely out of character because Deus Ex Machina, they want this crossover to occur.
Like, it's not even that hard to set up crossovers in the 40K universe.
Well, no, it's not even like, oh, we gotta set up the crossover. It's like the fucking Kriegsmarine thing, where the Kriegsmarine should, if he acted like a Kriegsmarine, would have changed how the story ran completely. But because the author wanted it to go a specific way, the Kriegsmarine acted very un-Kriegsmarine.
Yeah. and sometimes it's little things like Kriegsmarine having gear they should in no way have access to.
Yeah. Anyway, back to this story. We've been derailed long enough.
Yeah.
The hills,
that's
daring any warm creature to venture through it and come out even with a single molecule of heat radiating off it. Although the ground was probably drowning in knee-deep snow.
wait.
I
hold
see
on.
what you're trying to do here. You're doing it poorly. The blizzard kept peppering down. They're trying to set up like, oh my god, there's so much snow and it's so blistering cold. Peppering down is like a light
I was
fluffing.
gonna say, a blizzard does not pepper. A blizzard rages. A blizzard waves.
Pelts.
A blizzard, pelts.
Yeah.
A blizzard blocks out all vision
Yeah.
from the amount of snow and wind.
Peppering down with no hint of ceasing its activities. Although the snow comes from unfavorable conditions for battle, and for battle comes death and bitter dueling to the last man.
Hold on,
What?
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 Through the snow comes unfavorable conditions for battle, and for battle comes death.
That's the improper use of a semicolon. B, that sentence has nothing to do with the current paragraph's theme.
First of all,
Anyway.
a semicolon is supposed to connect two related sentences.
Yeah.
Those sentences are in no way related.
They're using it as a comma or something.
And the last little sentence fragment makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense either alone or in context. Alright, let's keep this moving.
I mean, if they were trying to keep up the imagery, it would have been like, and with the snowfall comes, dire conditions for battle. But battle comes anyway with rivers of blood or something
Yeah.
A Viking's village was a prepared one at best, but no match for its cunning rival that was the knight's war machines. That's very awkward.
Hold up a minute. I don't think this person understands what the hell a village is.
Siege towers! Contraptions that shot a ladder across a gap in the ground. Even as one was defeated, another came to quickly replace it with interest. As one knight fell, two would replace where the fallen knight once stood, poised to strike with lethal strokes. The walls were thick and hearty, ripe for defense, but it stood no match for fire, its burning nemesis to its wooden composition.
It would soon tumble down and soldiers would pour in with captains and special units following close behind. Alright, first of all, you don't need to say you should not include special units.
Yeah.
You could have just said elite warriors or anything like that.
Leaders,
Anything like that, and the immersion, which was already tenuous at best, would not have been completely destroyed. Second of all, this person, let's see, is this person a native English speaker? Oh, they're Canadian. Well, English is either their first or second language, and I'm disappointed in them. You want to be flowery? Fine. I completely understand. In fact, if you'd done it correctly, this would have been a great time for flowery language.
Except you just, fucking butchered it. You're the kind of person that I would expect to be like, oh, hey, that's a nice flower on that cactus over there, and I look away, and then I look back, and you're dick deep in it, and it's just like, That is not what I thought you were going to do with that flower. Or that cactus. Anyway. The Centurion could have had a better scenario. What? But it seems those Blackstones aren't fond of fair fights. What? The events that transpired after that would further prove his theory to be true.
Wait, hold on. Where the hell are you? This Centurion could have had a...
The small bridge
okay,
to
yes.
connect a small inner spire to another had been ravaged, but still accessible and safe.
Do you know what the term ravaged means, author? Like,
The cactus sometimes likes to watch.
Accessible? Yeah, you could use accessible. And then you should have been like, and decidedly unsafe, or...
Yeah.
But it wasn't safe.
Only for the brave or something. Only a fool would attempt to cross it. There is an add-on where you can select the text on Fanfiction. I'm not surprised at all. But I'm not a dirty thief, so I won't be selecting any text on Fanfiction.
We don't want to select any of this text anyway. Even as arrows with flames weakly sputtering into the air, and smoke rose from the holes in the bridge. Okay, hold on a minute. As arrows with flames weakly sputtering into the air. Okay, first of all, I don't think this person's ever seen what happens when you actually shoot a fire arrow.
No.
The arrow goes out, and maybe it reignites when it lands, but have you ever tried to set fire to a piece of wood by essentially holding a lighter against it? It doesn't work.
You know, fire arrows typically, back in the day, would be not just arrows on fire. They would be cloth soaked in some form of flammable substance wrapped around a wooden shaft.
And even then, you still didn't burn. Unless it landed on like a thatch roof, it probably wasn't starting a fire.
You know, they were often only used in like areas, woodlands, dry fields.
Like, were they used in sieges? Absolutely, they were. But
Yeah.
again, they weren't as common as people seem to think, and they certainly were way less effective than people seem to think.
I mean, like,
the
could
amount
you
of
take an
time-
arrow, stick it into a
a
brazier?
brazier,
Whatever.
brazier.
You stick into that fucking thing, technically yes, you could light it on fire, and technically yes, you could shoot it at someone. However, the process of shooting an arrow requires you to draw it back fully, which also includes the bit that's on fire. Which makes it somewhat hard to shoot the arrow, being that it's on fire.
Yeah, and again,
On top of that, on top of all of that, as if that wasn't bad enough, you also have to keep in mind that you have now structurally weakened the shaft of the arrow.
because of it's on fire and all the extra weight you've put on it.
Well, not only that, it's very thin to start off with, and if you're lighting it on fire, it's going to charcoal quickly. And even a little bit of structural integrity reduction makes it a lot less useful when you're attacking people who have any remote piece of armor on them. Could you shoot a bear with a fire arrow? Yeah, I guess.
But realistically speaking, now all you've done is give yourself a pissed off flaming bear that's running at you.
Thank you, Far Cry, for teaching us that.
That was a great moment today.
And even then, fire arrows kind of defeat the purpose of an arrow.
Anyway, we're waffling because we don't want to keep reading this. Let's just move on.
I mean, no, I'm gonna rant a bit more. So you hit someone with an arrow, right? If it's a broadhead, it's meant to bleed them. If it's a normal arrow, it's just meant to go into them and cause you some pain.
Well, ideally it's meant to kill you, but yes.
Well, I mean, typically an arrow shot from far away isn't going to kill someone wearing armor. It will more than likely just stick in his shoulder and hurt them a little bit.
I mean,
depending on the distance.
Depends.
I mean, it's basically like a less dangerous gun in terms of, okay, well, if you get shot in the chest with it, and if it goes deep enough, you're pretty much dead. However, there's that whole thing where it's not moving the speed of sound, and a lot of force gets bled off, and, if you're wearing leather or even cloth padding on top of that, that's even more force that's getting bled off, and then it's going to hit your ribs typically because...
literally cloth padding can be sufficient to keep an arrow from doing harm. Like, maybe it'll prick you a little,
not even that. Like, even depending on the size of the arrowhead itself, it might, because of, it's not a 3D thing, it's just a flat arrowhead, it might go between their ribs, or it might get, turned sideways and get stuck on their ribs, and, well, they're not really going to be dying from that. It's going to hurt like a bitch, but they're not really going to be bleeding out from that, and they're not really going to be dying from that.
I was going to say, that's one of the ones you can just turn around and walk away from. Like, should you keep charging into the fight? No, probably not. You should probably turn around and find someone to snap that off and pull it out and bite down.
As I was saying, setting an arrow on fire... Yes, it's going to hurt more when it hits them, but you're also going to be cauterizing any wounds you cause, which defeats the majority purpose of the arrow.
Okay, to be fair, having a giant charcoal burned hole in your skin is still pretty fucking painful.
I know. I've had wounds cauterized before. It hurts. However,
it hurts a lot.
If an arrow, say, hits you in a spot that would bleed, but, the arrow's on fire and the wound's now cauterized and it's not bleeding anymore, it's just gonna hurt like a bitch. It's not gonna kill you anymore. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
Yes, so much... I turned rant mode on for a reason.
Again, Devil Spidey, this is what we do when we don't want to keep reading the rest of the story, because we know it's going to be bad. We know it's going to be bad,
we
but
can
we have
feel
to read
it
anyway.
We can feel it
this
in our
heart.
heart.
Way of stalling.
Our heart of hearts.
Hopefully providing some entertainment. Our kingdom hearts.
Get the fuck out.
Come on, you set that joke up.
Even as arrows with flames weakly sputtering into the air and smoke rising from holes in the bridge, it stood proud and strong. The centurion, identified as a skilled swordsman, named Maverick. No one would name their son Maverick in any day and age besides maybe now. And even then...
Also, I want to point out that apparently there are holes in this bridge, but it is both accessible and safe.
And on fire. It's also on fire. Can't forget that part. It's also on fire.
Little bits of it are on fire. But, by definition, a bridge that has a hole in it, no matter how visible, clear, or signposted that hole is, that bridge is no longer safe, because you can die.
Top Gun fans, I saw the movie like 12 years ago.
It's been a long time since I saw Top Gun. I basically remember none of it, which is a shame, and I need to go rewatch it because it's a great movie.
Away to the danger zone. No, not diehard fans. We're not that.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Anyway,
What's wrong with Die Hard?
I said
Nothing.
we're not
just saying
diehard
we aren't
fans.
fans of it.
Had been separated by his fellow captains. He was separated by his captains? Oh, well, I guess his captains want him dead. When they decided to sprint across the bridge and leave him behind, I thought the bridge was perfectly fine. Panting after holding off two Blackstone wardens, he continued his jog towards the center of the bridge. His Archaea?
What the fuck? Hold on, I'm
Whatever.
Googling this.
It's probably a thing. Helmet stained with a splatter of blood, along with the rest of his armor set being worn thoroughly throughout the battle. I would certainly hope you were wearing your armor during battle. Question mark? Question mark?
Hold on. To be fair, he could have been a Norse or Celtic berserker. Those guys ran in naked.
Yes.
Buck naked.
Yep. And sometimes they turn into bears.
No, I'm serious. We do have historical accounts of them running absolutely buck naked.
Oh, I know! I'm aware.
Just no fucks given.
Oh, humanity. Progress through psychostimulants.
There was no psychostimulant convincing them to run naked into battle.
Although, yes, there was.
That was just... I mean, okay, technically booze is a psychostimulant.
You realize almost every chemical your body produces is a psychostimulant,
I am
right?
aware, Sneaky.
Just making sure. Is that a challenge? Are you gonna run at some British people with axes? Naked?
I mean...
I challenge you, Devil Spidey, to film yourself in London running at people with axes buck naked. And you must post it.
You also need to be screaming.
Yes,
Screaming is important.
you need to be screaming in Norse.
Okay, yes, and... Okay, as far as I can tell, an IKEA helmet is just a plumed helmet.
Okay, so it's... okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, okay, no, it's just... It's a plumed... It's a plumed or decorated helmet.
Along with a spiked ornament peeking out. Peeking out of what? The tip blue as a marker for command and friendliness towards his fraction.
What? Seaborne Legion, once the largest sea-related legion that spread their territories wherever the water was present, serving as its guardian and consumer. Jesus fucking Christ. His blue and white cape was torn in half diagonally, almost a clean cut, would it not be for the snag at the lower quadrant, which resulted in the end of a very surprised peacekeeper. See, I understand what the author's trying to do. You've done it incorrectly and poorly, author.
Yeah. See, now I'm getting the mental image of a peacekeeper just attached to the back of his cape.
It's a little chibi peacekeeper. He hangs it off the edge of his sword. It's...
No, you don't understand. I just got the mental image of fucking Artorias swinging his sword around with Ciarn attached to the end of it.
Oh my god.
But Ciarn's attached by a chain, so it's like an anime girl's cell phone.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Artorias, stop this right now.
No, Artorias just
Ciarn,
becomes an
stop
Keyblade
blushing
wielder.
immediately. Hava learned far too many things about their sexual life that day.
Okay, moving on.
Alright, a little bit too far for my comfort. Oh, it's a little bit too far now.
I just took it to the logical conclusion.
No, you did. You took it to the Tumblr conclusion.
I ship it.
Oh, for fuck's sake. some people should be burned alive. Are you advocating burning us alive, Devil
I
Spidey?
do advocate genocide. This is true.
No, no. That is not the opinion of this channel. He does not represent the rest of us. We are not psychopaths.
SneakyDevil 2017.
Anyway.
You know, someday, down the line, like years down the line, if I ever become even remotely popular, somehow that specific clip is going to make it somewhere and be spread.
Of course it is.
And I'll laugh. He continued running, arms swiping back and forth, with white, foggy breaths exiting his helmet every second. Before his pace turned into a stutter step due to arrows striking a firm line in front of his unlucky being.
What? What the fuck?
He would have cursed whatever creator did this, but found the will to not due to the fact that he had to pivot on his feet to dodge a swipe from a warden.
Oh my god. This author is forever forbidden from trying to write combat again.
This is pretty cringy. Maverick brought his gladius up with a mighty roar as a peacekeeper rounded behind the warden and lunged.
Has this person, you could have spent 2 seconds to Google an actual, Italian or Roman name.
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Fettuccine, macaroni.
Oh my god.
Wait, you're telling me those aren't Italian names for children?
I hate you. And yes, Devil Spidey, you're right. The clip will be lost forever in the internet. Has there been anything Zootopia
No,
related?
Zootopia is not in here yet. But we've only been 4 paragraphs in, so get ready for it. Mario, Luigi, aren't those the names of food? Be serious, Devil Spidey. Come on, we're trying to be serious here.
I can't kill him. I can't kill him. I can't.
What are you? Who are you kidding here? At? Of course you can.
No, Max, you've armed me far too well for that to occur.
No, I'm saying it goes against my religion to murder people.
Oh, well, just do what the Catholic Church did back during the Crusades. Claim it's in the name of God. I'm sure they'll believe you.
I am not starting another crusade.
You should definitely start another crusade.
It's not like you're starting it against anyone that people think so.
Point.
Sneaky, is there anyone who cares about you enough that they'd want to sue because that started a crusade?
My mom does like suing people.
Psh, please,
oh,
it'll be months before she finds out.
Atin, you're a witch. You must now burn yourself.
Claim this one is a witch. It would work, except I'm not a witch.
Oh, well, how do you know?
Because I've never done magic.
Have you weighed yourself against the duck?
Yes, actually. The duck weighed more.
Well, did you float in water then?
Nope.
Well,
there's a reason I don't go swimming anymore.
You're a witch.
No, it's if I don't float.
No. If you sink, you're still a witch. Because you're just tricking us. Thinking you're not a witch.
For fuck's sake. You see what you've done? You've made me use Cyanide's accent. Just read the fucking story.
Yeah. Maverick! Striking her left dagger towards his neck. So, she punched her dagger with the other sword?
I mean, It's a new fighting style?
Towards his neck, only to find herself deflected. So she was
Wait,
deflected,
wait,
not her
wait.
sword.
Sneaky.
Her
Sneaky.
existence was
Maybe,
deflected off to the
maybe
side.
the dagger was a punch dagger.
So she punched the dagger at him, and then her whole body got deflected.
Yes.
It all makes sense now. Devil Spidey, that's because you are Satan.
Please don't call our wonderful viewers Satan.
No, they're definitely Satan. Turning around, Maverick corrected his defensive posture, shuffling cautiously to the right as the other two shuffled slowly to the left, causing a circular rotation as a furious battle was raged beneath the bridge. Staring eerily at the two, the warden decided to break the tension, and he let out a scream as he reared his sword back and swung it towards the Maverick's left hip, only to be deflected and kicked into pain.
No, kicked into the bridge's half wall.
Kicked into the bridge's half wall, causing the Peacekeeper to jump in and land a clean stab into Maverick's hip, causing a groan. Why are they aiming at his fucking hip?
Causing a groan of pain from the pain? I don't know. Maybe they're trying to disable him so that Apollyon can torture him or something? I don't know.
Turning, he slammed his gauntlet into her mask, forcing her to stumble back to forget her left sword, to which he pulled it out and threw it over the bridge, flexing his fingers on his gladius.
Wait, hold on. He's flexing his fingers on his sword?
Yep, he's just, gripping it and flexing a bit.
Either he's gripping the sword and flexing, in which case he's purposefully cutting his own hands, or there are fingers on the sword which he can flex, in which case, when did we get into Cthulian flesh sculpting?
Now, apparently. Filthy traitors, the lot of you, Maverick screamed, earning a small chuckle from the warden, who is now straightened.
It took him that long to stand up from getting kicked into a little wall. This is a bitch-ass centurion.
Who is now straightened. You're using words you don't know you should be using. You shouldn't. Stop. You're delusional, Centurion. Maverick growled, the Peacekeeper performing a jumping maneuver and going down towards Maverick with her daggers poised at his helmet, to which he responded kindly in deflecting her strike. She landed on her stomach right next to him, and he swiftly lifted the gladius, only to be threatened on his left flank by the warden, whose shoulder bashed into him, making him stumble with an irritated growl. Cowards, too. I thought I'd never see the day. No matter, you all die the same by a centurion's blade. Wow, you actually used that properly.
Yeah.
Maverick let out a roar, lunging at the warden, who blocked it and became immediately dazed.
After processing a gauntlet striking his helmet with adamant... Oh my god, this person is forever banned from riding combat again.
They were dazed, but they roared like an animal. Yeah, I don't think that's what happened.
You okay there, boy?
I'm just trying to find my place again. Stumbling, he left himself wide open for Maverick.
Maybe you should double check that the stream is still live, because you disappeared from the chat for a second.
No, I'm still alive.
Alright.
You made me lose my place again. Stumbling, he left himself wide open for Maverick to quickly strike his chest twice. The man letting out a scream of pain before collapsing. Collapsing into one of the bridge's many holes, crushing two duelers as he landed, deceased. Missing a comma. Unless you're not missing a comma and you just... I don't know where I was going with that. You're missing a comma. Fix it. Anyway. He turned around to face a peacekeeper's foot striking him in the side of the helmet, making his world twirl and his body slam against the bridge's half wall. Shaking his helmet, he glanced at the ground for a single second and lifted his gaze to his side. A blade being thrust at his chest was seen and was barely deflected by his instinct.
You okay there, boy? You stopped reading.
His gladius suddenly in front of his visage. Oh my god, fucking kill yourself, you massive faggot.
I know. Come on, power through, you're almost done.
I know. His eyes popped open in their sockets, his ears blanketed by the raging war and the current fight around him. He glanced over to his right to where the arrows were to see black stones approaching from the arrows. He was completely cut off. Snorting, the centurion lifted his gladius and shouted, "More for the slaughter! Blood for the blood gods! Skulls for the skull throne!" In Latin. Two lawbringers and a fellow centurion, a warden and the current peacekeeper before him, all
rushed him at him.
Yeah. Hopping to the left, he dug his right foot into the bridge and lifted an elbow to smash the peacekeeper's exposed back, stumbling her even more forwards as he deflected a warden's charging blow.
How big is this fucking bridge? Also, isn't it filled with holes?
Fuck you, that's how big.
So, it's like the inside of a
bullhead. Yes.
Bullhead.
Technically, you can't swing that sword around. Well, the bullhead's as big as I say it needs to be for whenever it needs to be that big.
At least he was fucking honest.
No. No, doesn't deserve. No.
Yes, Maverick still lives.
Hopping to the left, kicking people around, severing people's spines, the huffing, he dropped, cause he's got something through his heart or something. Peacekeeper's blade embedded itself into his shoulder blade, poking at his heart. That's not how that works, but okay. Body jerked forward, taking the peacekeeper with him through the hole to their deaths. Okay. So is this the part where we go into Zootopia?
I can only assume that that's in the next chapter.
Question, who picks these? I pick these. I'm basically a fanfiction addict. So whenever I'm out searching for fanfiction, I see a lot of shit. Before I used to ignore it, and now I have a bookmark folder set aside for just such an occasion.
I was gonna say, and sometimes I contribute them. I don't think Max has ever contributed one, because he doesn't speak up most of the time. And we, as a general rule, as a general rule, we ignore stuff that's going to be obvious trash. Like if it's got, you know, 4 errors straight in like the summary, we'll generally ignore those. Sometimes we don't, but most of the time we do. Anyway, let's move on. Since we don't get to read chapter 2 yet, because chapter 2 doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Fucking, this isn't even 1,300 words. You're telling me the author hasn't written another chapter of comparable length over the course of a month at this point? Shame, author.
Okay, so then what do we do next? The Elder Scrolls Fire Emblems?
Yeah, if that's what you want to move on to.
You still there, Sneaky?
No, I'm still here. I'm just waiting for an answer on you guys.
Well, I'm just waiting for you to put the next one in.
Well, I asked the question if you guys wanted to do the Elder Scrolls Fire Emblem fic next.
I mean, hell, sure.
Alright, this one's all yours then.
Oh boy. I needed to mentally prepare myself for this.
Yes, indeed, you did need to mentally prepare yourself for whatever abomination we have unleashed with this.
Rated M to be safe. I find that statement contradictory, author. I know what you mean, but...
I find that statement unnerving.
After a great disaster following an attempt to recapture one of their most dangerous foes, Momiji and her temporary allies find themselves in a strange land being torn apart by a civil war. Momiji? Who the fuck is that? Did I miss that in the Fire Emblem game?
No, no.
Hold on, I need to look this character up to make sure.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the Oblivion storyline, as we could probably tell.
I mean, I can only hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, alright, I mean, it says Nern calls for warrior. Oh, apparently Momoji's a follower? I don't fucking know. Anyway. The rain fell hard in the swamps of the mire. Water levels were high and the floods began to swallow the land. Then a shadow moved. Oh, Jesus Christ, I can't take more of this. In all seriousness, Sneaky, my voice can't take this. Can you read until we actually get to fucking Fire Emblem at least?
No, because I gotta refill my water, bro.
Fine. Nobushi was running in the rain, setting her sets on one target. As she ran through the swamp with much quickness.
Dude, don't you run with quickness?
No, I run with Sanic.
Oh boy, man, I don't think I can keep up with you. That's too fast.
In front of her, a metal figure whose armor gleamed from the nearby lanterns. Running from her at great speed, the Nobushi could hear the words of her companions. I don't remember lanterns in the mire, but whatever. Momoji, don't run off without us. You must wait for help. Of course she's going to ignore them. Momoji ignored their warnings. She ran after her target. Please just surrender, Knight. I'm pretty sure Nobushi would not ask someone to surrender. They would just shove their naginata in their spine.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because, you know, they all hate each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just the first sentence. Yeah, it is just the first sentence, Devil Spidey. This is the kind of thing we do every week. Every week. The warden ignores her as he kept running. As they neared the cliff, the warden is suddenly tackled by another figure. Momoji stops for a moment and analyzes the newcomer. It was clearly a berserker, a female one. Why does that matter anyway? The warden pushes her off him as he drew his longsword. You're telling me the warden didn't already have his sword out?
That is pretty bad wardening.
Eyeing both Momoji and the berserker. The berserker growled at him. You have to answer for all the death you have caused, the berserker growled. I will avenge Helvar's death. No, he's a prisoner of the samurai, Momoji countered. Except, here's a problem with that, author. It's been very clearly shown that the samurai all speak Japanese.
And the Vikings don't.
They made an entire joke out of that.
In Japanese. Did you understand what he said? Turns to him. I don't speak Japanese.
Yes.
Stay here. In Japanese.
Yes.
Looks at him.
It was very
Leave.
funny.
Making the joke less and less funny every time you bring it up.
I know.
Stop killing the joke for me. Let me enjoy it while I can remember it fondly.
I was gonna say,
Laughs
correct
and
me if I'm
shit,
wrong,
Lord.
but we only encounter 2 samurai that speak English, or whatever they were speaking. I assume it was English, but I was gonna say, the one who's in the fort by the sea, and the one who apparently had magic Phantom Lancer powers for some reason. Anyway. No, he is a prisoner of the samurai, Momoji countered. He attacked Empress Ayu and gravely injured her champion. Stay back, samurai, the berserker growled. We're only here for the warden. So are we. But their exchange is interrupted by the arrival of Vikings and samurai who surround them. Okay. The leader of the samurai group reveals herself to be Ayu. The leader of the Vikings reveals himself to be the raider. Surrender to us, Warden, and we will guarantee fair treatment. The Warden is ours. Helvar must be avenged. The Warden was shaken as he saw none of his allies come for him. He prayed as he muttered to himself. Ah, good. Latin. In nomine Patre, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. I have done only what Sir Holden Cross asked me to. The knight shouted. Shut it, Warden, the raider demanded. I have a name. Robert Ackerman.
No
hey,
last
at
name.
least this is at least this is a vaguely, at least this is a name that vaguely fits. Not Maverick. Well, Robert, surrender, or we will be forced to. Their negotiations were interrupted as they saw the familiar Buddhist statue next to them begin to creak. The soil underneath it began to give way as the giant statue came crashing down, together with a ton of soil. The Vikings and samurai were able to keep a safe distance, but 3 unfortunate individuals were caught on the land side. Ayu screamed as she saw her friend go falling down. Momoji, the raider saw one of his best soldiers fall into the darkness as the land side took her away. Valhalla awaits. Area, whatever. Ah, good. They fell into a ravine. That's how we're doing this. Just because there was one fucking magical ravine in Fire Emblem Fates does not mean every fucking ravine is magical, guys.
This is a For Honor crossover, by the way. This is Elder Scrolls For Honor.
I know. I was just making a joke because I've been seeing a lot of magic ravines lately.
You're a magic ravine.
What the fuck is that even supposed to mean, you idiot?
Your mom has a magic ravine.
Fucking reading that fucking water. I'm not even gonna respond to you, just read. No, seriously, can you read, please? Because my throat, my voice...
Yeah, I'm drinking.
Right
Hold on.
It must be... Magic is real, must be shown in every page. Oh, are you kidding me? Magic is not real.
Magic is real, you must believe.
I made a ravine out of her. Oh, for God's sake. Now you see what you've done? You've corrupted the one viewer. You can even respond to the joke I make, or...
Yeah, let's go. Where was it? Robert surrender over 42?
Yes, Robert felt his strength return.
Yeah. As he opened his eyes to see himself in the middle of a forest, he looks left and right to see no one else around as he tries to move, but his body felt heavy at the moment, and he chooses to lie for a while. This certainly doesn't look like the swamps of Mire. Am I back in Ashfield? Robert summons his strength and sits up, carefully analyzing his environment. He hears the sound of carts as he saw what looked to be legionnaires transporting prisoners. He stands up and sneaks over to takes a closer look to see two familiar faces on the carts, the Nobushi and the Berserker girl. Robert decides to lay low as he follows the carts. Maybe they can lead me back to Ashfield. Yes, the Asian and the Viking can lead you back to Ashfield, the home of knights. 10 out of 10, sir. 10 out of 10. Hello? Are both of you just dead?
No, we're here. It's just... I didn't expect the schlock tonight to be this unengaging. And Atin's probably coughing his lungs out. So.
Sorry,
Alright.
I had to go off and open my windows, because apparently we decided to turn the AC off. Ravine means end of year backward, which means nothing. For crying out loud, another wise ass in the chat. We have enough wise asses in this recording, thank you.
Don't make me interview you. Mamuji gets shaken awake by a sudden tremble from the cart. She sees that her hands are tied and her weapon is out of her hands. She sees the berserker next to her tied to the cart instead of simply having her hands bound. Hey you, stranger in the white mask.
Excuse me, you expect me to believe that the Imperials did not immediately take that off?
A, that. B, literally doing the intro to Skyrim. Fuck off.
Like, there are so many better things you could have fucking done.
And you chose this.
You're putting them in the horse cart. You're putting them in the Dragonborn's horse cart.
They are the Dragonborn.
They better not be fucking Dragonborn. Fuck you, author.
Blah blah blah, blah blah blah, word for word. Leaving the Berserker behind. Why isn't she getting off? She's not normal. She took on and killed 5 of us. Even when we cuffed her, she was able to take a few of us down. We'll get her off. I want her weights.
What? Okay, hold on. First of all, I want to point something out. Like we said, again, she doesn't speak English. Out of all the samurai you encounter, 2 of them speak English.
Oh, I mean, even less. She doesn't speak. Even if they do speak English in wherever the fuck the For Honor takes place, she doesn't speak Norse. Or, sorry, Nordic.
I was gonna say, it's defined that every land of Skyrim, or every land of Tamriel, has its own language.
Yeah.
Now, even if Imperial has been made a standard, quote-unquote...
It's still not English, as we can see by the texts. Like, if you actually look at the words, like an opened book, it's not...
It's not English.
It's not a Romanic alphabet.
And even if it was, it just because it's a Romanic alphabet does not mean it can't... Like someone in Japan who can read Roman characters might pronounce it completely wrong.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, yep.
All of which is our point to say she shouldn't be able to fucking understand a
Lots
word
of Deus Exes.
None of them should.
Before the Berserker wakes up, they attach iron weights to her. Get off the cart, prisoner. I'd like to see you make me. Pushes the Berserker off. Grumbles. Step towards me, call your name. Ulfric Stormcloak, Jarl, Ryla, blah blah blah. You're not gonna kill me, Archer.
Really? Really? You're not gonna include the scene where they take their names?
Nope. Coward.
You
Wait,
know,
you in the You in the mask. Step forward. Where am I? Am I at Ashfield or Valkenheim? This place seems shut.
Are you kidding me? Are you?
Oh, they do.
Me?
The author does say, "Someone take off this girl's mask and hat. Gods, why didn't you remove it earlier?" Remove the mask and hat, revealing Oriental features.
White and smooth as porcelain. Author, do you know what an Oriental person looks like?
God damn, they must be jacking off.
I don't mean to be rude.
And at Kaviri, the soldiers obviously shocked, take a step back, everyone gasps as Memoji's clothes and facial features resembled that race. She must be a member of the Blades, we must eliminate her now.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold up. I can buy once the mask coming off, people thinking she's an Akaviri. Fine, I get that. You don't understand what an Oriental person looks like, but fine. But her clothing would look nothing like the Akaviri.
Yeah, no,
nothing.
Nothing.
Isn't Akaviri armor?
Akaviri armor looks a lot like Centurion plate meets samurai, what's the best word for it? Theme, I guess you could say. Like, it's not full samurai-esque with, like, the shoulder plates. It's more like Roman in terms of shape, but it's got lots of decoration on it.
I'm looking at the Blades armor that's in Skyrim, at least. The armor they... Yeah. She's wearing enough pieces, they could probably confuse it for
Here's
that.
the thing. The most recent thing we have is the Akaviri armor from the Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, but this isn't the timeline for Skyrim, so I've got the Blades armor.
Okay, yes. Okay, fine.
Same thing. So as far as the Blades go, sure, I guess I could see them pushing that. I'd have to look up Momiji again, though. I haven't touched For Honor since beating. I haven't touched that story mode since beating. No, wait. No, actually, I forgot. Momiji's right. She's the Nobushi.
I was gonna say,
she's only got the shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Oh my god, guys.
Like, that was my problem. Like, I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, Arthur. Okay, you should have stuck Ayu in there if you wanted
if it had been Ayu.
Or the Orochi. The Ayu or the Orochi would have been perfect for this.
Pretty much.
But not the spear user wearing all cloth and maybe 2 shoulder pads.
The Executioner holds the X high, she kicks him in the shin, stands up, sees the Executioner, and uses his weapon to unbound her hands. No. She then holds the weapon in stance. The Executioner's axe. She holds it in a stance. It's a bit heavier than what you normally use to doll.
I was gonna say, you mean the thing that you mean the kind of weapon that she has literally never touched before?
As far as we know.
In stance too. No, I'm
Which
pretty
is,
sure.
I'm not. Cause we've all seen that Executioners and that axe. We've all, started enough, at least
Executioners,
playthroughs
yeah,
to
but
know what it looks like.
executioners' axes aren't balanced weapons. You
Oh no,
can't.
that's what I'm talking. No,
Yeah.
Sneaky, that's what I'm talking about. We've all seen it. There's no way she's holding that in the stance that she's.
There's no way she's holding it, period. They're not balanced weapons. There's a reason why executioners are always portrayed as these really thick, wally men.
Yeah.
It's a very heavy object that's meant to come down at a rapid pace with lots of weight behind it.
Like,
Actually,
here's the thing. If the Raider... Here's the thing. If they'd been the one to have the Raider do this breakout...
Oh, yeah,
that
the
would make
Raider.
perfect
Oh, yeah.
sense.
That'd be great for him.
Perfect sense, because Raider... it'd still be unbalanced and awkward, but at least the Raider would be like, I know what to do with this.
It would be
mostly.
familiar enough, yeah.
I know this thing.
But no, when they say that she's holding it in a stance, I can only assume that she's trying to use it as a fucking spear. She put the axe near the captain's neck and holds the soldier hostage. Okay, another thing that people don't really understand about executioners' axes is they aren't that sharp. The executioner axes are more like a wedge than an actual bladed instrument.
Yeah, okay, look, for reference, I've pulled the headsman back up. Here's the headsman from the game files. Just a nice, good shot of the headsman.
Yeah, I'm actually digging into it. Apparently, that axe is usable. Digging through config files. It's a battle axe.
Well, yeah,
so
obviously it would be.
The Raider needs to be here. Nobushi might be able to lift the blade, but she ain't swinging that damn thing.
And she's definitely not.
I'm sorry.
And even leaving those aside, if she's
I mean, you can even tell that it's not even like made to be a sharpened instrument. Like you can see the gouges and scratch marks. It was basically fucking hewn.
And here's the other thing. Even if, for whatever reason, she can pick this up, despite it being something she's not even remotely used to using, she puts the axe near the captain's neck and holds the soldier hostage.
No, it's not.
This isn't like a wimpy little hand axe that you can put at somebody's throat. If anyone should be, anyone in For Honor who would be capable of using this, it would be the Berserker. Like, the Raider might at least have some idea of what to do with this. But the Nobushi?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and keep in mind, again, For Honor is not this... It is not a anime we're stronger than we look thing. These are based on real-world body types. These people are not lifting more than what they have. Ignoring the fact that weapons aren't as heavy as they look. Granted, like most, swords usually don't get above 10 pounds unless you're just a jackass who ordered a slab of metal.
Or you're a fucking retard who makes the hilt out of, I don't know, black iron.
Oh, yeah, that's great idea. So the idea of the Nobushi, even lifting it, period, is laughable. Possible, but still laughable. She's not swinging it. She's not using it. She's not holding anyone hostage. The Berserker, thicker build, might be able to do it.
Even the main point there, though, is Executioner's axe is still, again, it's not a sharp blade. Yes, it has an edge. Yes, it can probably cut you if you run your hand, across it. Putting pressure on it. It's not a sharp blade, though. It's a wedge.
It's not a throat-slitting tool.
Yeah, it's not a sort of weapon you hold up against someone's throat and go, stay back or I'll cut the bitch.
Now,
even holding this one-handed.
Oh God, yeah. If that's what she's doing. Now, granted, the tip on that axe is enough. She could threaten to poke him with it, maybe.
True.
But that would require
still extremely unbalanced, and she's got to be wearing out her arm rapidly.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, just want to point out, I'm disappointed in the Berserker for not following through on the implied threat of "if you touch me, I kick your ass" in the card.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed in that. I'd like to see you try. Immediately
I was gonna
let
say
them do it.
immediately
What the
would try. Hey,
fuck?
so a couple of things. Number one, Devil Spidey, thank you for the follow, and number two, Max, episode Prompto's out today.
Huh.
Cool. Anyway, so then we get the warden. He comes up, says, "Hi, I'm a warden." They go, "Oh, you must be a new Emperor soldier. Give us your sword." That makes no sense.
What? What? Hold up. Hold up. Okay, mistaking a warden for an Imperial soldier, I might buy if it weren't for the fact that his armor is completely non-standard.
He called himself part of the Iron Legion, so they're like, "Oh, is that like some sort of new unit?"
Okay, no, you know what? I'm willing to believe this. I'm willing to believe that these people are incompetent enough to do this because of how incompetent they are in the game itself. Did we double check the prisoners? Oh, he's not even on the list. Kill him anyways. The fuck, guys? Hey, how's our inventory? We're short a few.
Kill them
Both,
anyway.
both sides are incredibly incompetent, so I can believe this happening in the game sequence, in the game's timeline.
Okay, fair enough. I could believe that. Like I said, I could believe it.
But you don't want to.
No. That's not even the problem. That's not even the problem.
No. See, the main problem here is them being like, "Hey, yeah, even if you are a special unit from the Emperor, you have to give us your weapon." No. No. At no point in time was that ever shown that you have to give up your weapon to get into a Legion camp. Which makes no sense if you're part of the Legion either.
I was gonna say, for crying out loud, you stroll up to General Tully. Now, granted, you're supposedly a trusted member of the army of the Imperial Army at that point. But
no,
you
you're not.
stroll up.
No, you're not.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
No, that's how you
just
originally get recruited, boy. You literally walk up to General Tullius, go, "Yo, hey man, I'm an escaped criminal, but I want to join the Legion and help you."
Yeah, no, you could just walk up to Imperials.
Because a dude named
like,
Halvar was a cool bro to me.
It's actually really hilarious. Like, I like to imagine, full-on weapon inventory. You got this guy coming in, 2 battle axes, 2 long swords, couple daggers, and maybe some, one-handed axes just for
I was
fun.
gonna say, like an elven bow.
And they just let you stroll in with all this weaponry.
Yep.
Like you are a literal walking arsenal, and you stroll right up to Tullius, and you're like, "Yo, dude, can I join the Imperial?" Like, for crying out loud, walking into the capital of Skyrim, either of the capitals, the Imperial or the Stoneclerk capital, you could walk straight up to the actual heads of the government with an arsenal, and no one stops you.
Yeah, just like, hey, stuff. Like, the absolute best part is when you do it while dressed in, like, say, the Brotherhood robes, or the Thief Guild stuff,
I mean,
or any of the Dragon Priest masks. All
yes.
these
Could they have programmed
dangerous
that
outfits.
in? Yes, obviously that part they're missing.
Well, no, I was
shit
gonna say,
because of
it's not even
laziness.
obviously they could program it in. They clearly did program it in, because there's a mission where they take all your gear.
This is true.
It's a main mission.
Yeah, like, honestly, I'm disappointed because there was one system that I don't think, if it was programmed in, it never worked for me. Just, dress up in full Imperial or Stormcloak gear and just stroll into an enemy base.
Yeah, someone put that in as a mod. But yeah, no,
I was gonna say, it's in New Vegas.
Yeah.
It's also in Elder Scrolls Online through the disguise system.
Yeah.
And they even did it like, just when you start seeing someone freak out, turn away from them, walk away. Because there's a suspicion thing. Like, in certain areas, they'll get suspicious of you. Stick in these and you're fine.
Yep.
Damn it, Skyrim. You had so much potential.
So anyway, yeah, bloody
mod's
blah. He stabs the guy in the chest with a long sword, apparently, somehow, even though it's not a long sword, it's a claymore.
Is it a claymore?
Yeah, it's claymore. Wardens use
Oh,
claymores.
I thought it was a broadsword.
Yeah, hold on.
No, those are
Oh.
definitely fucking claymores.
Alright, come on, Wiki. Armor weapon. No, it claims this is a long sword.
Oh.
Last I checked, long swords were one fucking handed.
Longsword has been used to describe an incredibly large variety of swords over the ages, so they aren't strictly wrong.
Okay,
The claymore and longsword.
okay, technically speaking, a longsword has a special hilt for two-handed use, but can also be one-handed.
Oh. Claymore is also the Scottish name that refers to a long sword with a distinctive two-handed grip, or a basket-hilted sword developed from a rapier.
Like I said, technically,
Fuck you, claymores.
Technically, they aren't fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Technically.
It's just long swords are meant for piercing. Last I checked.
No, again, here's the problem. Long swords are anything. Like that's the problem. Long swords have been used to describe such a massive variety of weapons at this point that it's basically useless to say.
Yeah, no, I was right. Yeah, no. Fighting with a long sword, style of fencing.
But that's fencing.
No, it literally fighting with a long sword denotes a style of fencing. That was the name of fencing, is fighting with a long sword. Which basically, I'm right in this, is that yes, you did use the tip of a long sword. Slices and cuts. Okay, that was early on though. Okay, yeah, but then it did evolve. Okay, yeah, into piercing.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Boy, we learned so much about how fencing also included slashing, and eventually we got rapiers for fencing. Fuck you, history.
Honestly, though, my favorite thing about the Warden is that the hilt strike execution is historically accurate. Friendly reminder, that was an actual thing. Actual people did.
What?
The Warden execution, where they grab the sword by the blade and bash you over the head with the hilt.
Oh yeah, because it was fucking heavy.
And it was because it's like, oh, my sword isn't sharp enough, or their armor is too good, and I can't cut through it. I guess I'll beat him to death with the other side.
I'll just add a little spike on the guard. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't want any trouble. No, you Akaviri have been meddlesome to Thalmor. We can't allow blades to survive. What are those? I don't know what you're talking about. Archer's fire. A roar was heard. Who are you? Warden of the Legion. John Tullius. I've never seen the likes of you, but because the Iron Legion isn't part of your empire. Where's the Iron Legion station? Ashfield. Who let this woman escape?
Okay, hold up. Tullius is being real calm right about now.
I mean, not only is he being real calm right now, this is in the middle of a fucking quote-unquote hostage situation. There's some quote-unquote Blade member holding the captain quote-unquote hostage.
And some dude from a
And apparently the Berserker, even though she was weighed down by chains and bound up more than a fucking Japanese bondage porn, she still managed to fucking pickpocket someone for the keys and free herself.
Never leave your keys in your back pocket. Like, really?
Tekken characters
Meddling
know all
archer.
about that.
Wait. Throws her axes at the archers. You realize there's like 10, right?
Alright, my dinner's ready. So
apparently
while
she
you
just
finish this
whirling axed everything.
I'm gonna get food. Oh, good. Now she's Troll Warlord.
Yeah. I'll only stop. Do a full assault on Robert. Stop fighting me. I'll only stop fighting you when you're dead. Heard another roar. What in the... Oh, a dragon. Not appropriate time. So let's just get along for a moment. Hi, she says in Japanese. Apply with our proposal. We'll call a truce. Once we're clear, the gloves are off. Into that building. They find Rayloff. Blah blah blah. Night slaying dragon legend. Ha ha ha. Jokes. You two actually believe that. So is he shipping the warden with those two?
I guess, like, I was thinking I could see potential in this, but
It's so
the
cringy.
the start just completely put me off of it.
It's
Like,
so
listen,
much Deus Ex Machina cringe.
like I can get past cringe, but the start was just too much. It just.
Is even this out of character? You can't use an executioner's axe like that. Dot dot dot. So many other little things that make me think you don't really know what you think you know. Oh, we don't read past one chapter.
Not unless the story catches our attention and we all don't, hate it. Usually has to be a unanimous decision.
Pretty much.
If we continue. Sneaky, please fix the Deus Ex before you move on. Please tell me you didn't post the review before you fix that.
I thought I had spelt that right.
No, it's Deus. I'm not sure what
Oh.
You spelled dues. So.
It is in fact Deus. You're right.
Yeah.
I spelled Machina correctly. That's the word I thought I spelled incorrectly.
Wait, no? Did you get Machina correct?
I got
Because I'm
Machina
seeing an
right.
extra I in there.
I added that I after I thought I spelled it incorrectly.
Ah.
Anyway, so post. Okay. So to wrap off this stream with 15 minutes left, we are going to reply back to the guy we started with. That's like a full loop, right? Full circle?
Can we just talk about better ways to start a 4 crossover?
I mean, we can do that too, but I'm still going to be replying to this guy's PM on stream.
Okay.
He says his laptop crashes when he uses Microsoft Word. That's why he uses Notepad.
You should send him Grammarly. You should tell him to look into Grammarly.
More Word.
Let's see.
Out there
Okay.
that are just as good as Word. Dot dot dot. And free. Dot dot dot. Yeah, Google Docs. Fucking holy shit, Google Docs.
Okay. Here's one, Sneaky. Character dies in their world. It's a reincarnation crossover. Okay. They're reincarnated as one of the dragons that Alduin resurrects.
That's
because
kind of
the soul happened to be missing. Yeah, but it's not the start of Skyrim. Repeated.
That's
ad
true
infinitum.
Enough.
There are different ways you can go with that as well. It's just a
mean,
starting idea, though. Like, I'm just throwing out writing prompts for starting chapters. And if you wanted
I
to end
would
it in
find it
that same
hilarious
chapter,
if a good intro to Skyrim, because this is actually a thing, is when people learn to summon for the first time, they can accidentally summon like any living creature on any plane. And so you get shit like everything from fucking mud crabs to like high level Daedra when you're first learning how to bind to summons.
oh boy. So just do what we were gonna do for the familiar Zero Crow.
Yeah. So more or
Mm,
less just, someone dies and while their soul is floating away, someone does their initial summon and their soul gets pulled in and boop, they're there now.
I bet we could do an intro using someone playing around with the Wabbajack and accidentally transmogrifying, I guess, like a chicken into new character. He'd go.
uh
Bad
yeah.
Danger would go for that. He'd go for that. He'd like that.
That'd be something. Um You'd have to get Shale Girl assistance in making it permanent because
Yeah,
he did set a
yeah,
temporary limit on the.
yeah. You know he'd go for it though.
Yeah, he
If he
probably
thought
would.
something interesting could happen, he'd fucking do it.
Can they summon tentacle monsters that do anal tears? I mean, Hermaeus Moore is pretty fucking close, and he will violate every hole you have if you make him do so. So, yes. The answer to your question is yes.
Yeah.
First off, there's no canon for Vila. Um, Either that they have their own government, they're all female. I simply use common sense. I am not the only one, thankfully. Um, yeah,
Okay.
no. So he's responding to the fact that I
Uh,
said that all of the shit he said about Vila was AU, with saying, well, there's no canon on Vila, so therefore you. I'm like, yeah, there's very little canon on Vila, so all your stuff's AU. So I can't really comment on it because you're claiming it's AU. So I'm like, well, okay.
I
Um,
simply use common sense. Really, I'm not the only. Yeah. I
yeah. I don't
didn't he
know.
just argue on a prior PM
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Vila can't?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm back from dinner.
Oh, Sneaky. That would have been a more interesting start to the story, actually.
What?
Take each of the three that we had, the Berserker, the Nobushi, and the Warden, and just stick them into the camps that they would have been assigned based on backgrounds and fighting style. So, Berserker ends up with the Stormcloaks, Wardens with the Legion, and Nobushi ends up in the underground layer of the Blades, and they're very fucking confused as to how she appeared out of nowhere.
No. It would probably be easier to just start her in Delphine's Inn.
Just fucking. It's empty. Delphine looks down. Poof. Delphine looks up. Nobushi's there. What?
Either that, or just have her wake up in Delphine's secret room and look around and be like, "Oh, hey, look at that! There's some samurai armor. I must be back, but this doesn't look like any samurai building I've ever seen." Walks up the stairs. What is this in the way? Kicks through a fake cabinet. Delphine appears. What are you doing?
Indeed. No, not in Charlotte Tour. We're like, yes, if it doesn't, you hear now, nobody cares. Thinking of it right now, ISIS, non-stop rape and murder.
What?
Wait, what?
What? Wild animal with human intelligence. If the fight doesn't matter to them, they won't interfere. So normal humans then. Not entirely sure. I guess that's his response to the normal humans comment I made.
Hold on, where the hell are we?
Oh, I'm responding to the guy's PM because he actually got back to me pretty quickly this time.
Oh wait, you got back to you just now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, hold on. I need to go read the review of this
What?
pile of nonsense.
Oh no, the PM, the conversation I've had with this guy, the
We're
Black
back to the
Rose
Black
here.
Rose here.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
no,
Sorry,
I'm sitting here trying to come up with better starts for this, for the Nern calls.
That is the most nonsensical. What is? I'm not even sure how to respond. Nonsensical statement. No, she's not a Mary Sue. It's simply the idiots accepting she is more powerful. Why do you think Dumbledore has such an interest? He wants to guide her away from the dark. Don't worry, that exact conversation will happen soon. It's not idiots accepting that she's more powerful. Like, okay, so you got an average school kid. You see the exact power of an average school kid over literally fucking decades. So you know the exact power of an average school kid when they're coming to Hogwarts for the first fucking time. When they've never learned magic before.
I was gonna say, even Harry Potter, who we may as well just call Magical Jesus because that's what he is.
Yeah. So they have the average idea of, okay, kids should be roughly around this level of competency and this powerful. If she starts shitting out transfiguration mastery is like a goddamn Nas on caffeine, then maybe some people will go, okay, maybe something's a little bit off here. No one's just going to accept a 10-year-old being a master at transfiguration. That's simply not a thing that would occur.
And even if they accepted it after she proves it,
people would still question it. It would be a constant questioning.
First of all, there'd have to be a lot of proving.
Yeah.
Like they'd be like, okay, you're so good, take the owl. Because here's the thing, if she's a master of transfiguration, then that would be something they do. It'd be like, okay, I guess let's give this kid like a mock owl.
Oh god.
Especially after seeing the average power and competency of 10-year-olds for decades. And goes, yeah, no, this is cool. She is a natural-born metamorph, so 99% of what will be taught is pointless, and she knows how to do it instinctually. I've already covered the metamorph point earlier. It is absolutely canon that self-transfig is different from object transfig, which is also split into organic to organic, comma, non to non, and non to organic, and vice versa. It's all very different. Hence why there is 7 years of it.
Like, you enjoying yourself?
Yes,
I don't understand what's going through their fucking head with this. Like, there's 7 years of it. Clearly, it's a bit more difficult than can do it naturally.
Yep. By the way, this is a thing that I'm gonna call out. Stuff that we've been seeing with the the 3-4 honor figs we've looked at.
I would say 3 of them, yeah.
Something like
Gameplay
that.
mechanics do not translate.
Yes.
To
yes.
actual real-world combat. That is something that I addressed very early on in our Dark
unless
Souls
you
pick.
go full, you have to go either full gameplay mechanics or no gameplay mechanics. Like that one Dark Souls Familiar of Zero crossover where it was like sort of gameplay mechanic-y in that like shit would just stick to his back if we put it there.
Yeah.
And shit like that. Like
listen, you can pick and choose, yes, but when you're wanting to do combat, you gotta be really careful, because otherwise you're gonna have to label it as a crack fic.
Well,
because
it's not even
I decided...
It's not even to be really careful. You could be like, oh, you know, do what some other I've seen people do, like, oh, in this world, that's how it works. No, that's the laws of the universe in that world. And I've seen interesting stories where people from that world come to a world of normalcy, and everyone's like, why, one was a D&D crossover, and they're like, why are you waiting 10 seconds between each action? What do you mean? I'm just taking my turn.
Okay, that's actually pretty funny. Yeah. It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I've seen that done, and it was done well, and I was like, oh, hey, that was done well. But you have to go, like I said, full out with it, or people start going, okay, hold on, wait a second. It's either all or nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, because I decided, alright, I'll just go look at the second chapter of this while Sneaky's bitching about stuff, and I'm trying to figure out better ways to actually, throw these characters into this world. And it's got Momiji fighting the Centurion captain. And so, and I'm going to read this right here for you. Making quick strikes to the vulnerable spots on her armor. The captain soon bleeds a lot as she tries futilely to fight Momiji, implying that Momiji's game mechanic of the bleed effect is here, even though she's only hitting the armor, not, say, the joints between the armor.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, just aim for the legs. There's no armor there. It's all leather. Just aim for her toe. Hit her toe. Go for that. That's not armored at all.
There's so many ways
I just realized that the Legion does leather skirts.
Yeah.
And they have people marching around in the snow with leather skirts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
Legion's got some badasses.
Jesus Christ!
Like, when you think about it, the Legion has badasses more by necessity than anything else. They had to learn to put up with that.
Yeah. God damn. He completely skips my, implication. The difference between master at Transfiguration and oh, she's a master at it. Tries to excuse out the Mary Sue, and then brings up a topic I never even brought up. Any Deus Ex Machinas I use is so I can skip chapters of bullshit.
That's not okay. Like, just because you're skipping nonsense
If
doesn't...
you write a story properly, you wouldn't have to skip, quote, bullshit chapters, end quote, ...
Like, what does a bullshit chapter even mean?
I think what they're trying to say is stuff like explaining as to why the blood purist anti-humans racists are chilling out and fucking non-humans.
Yeah.
You know,
Just
the key parts of
my God.
the story.
the parts that would actually be interesting.
For example, I'm gonna use Max's and I's story of Dark Souls. There's no real bullshit or Deus Ex Machinas we've had to really pull out. I mean, I was almost gonna kill off one of the main characters, and then I realized, oh wait a second, she has a healing item. She can live through this.
Yeah, there are also a couple of things that we actually managed to improve on our second go through for chapters 1 and 2.
Yeah. Oh, actually,
Anyway,
1 and 2 benefited quite a lot.
I was gonna say. Anyway, it's 8:03.
Yeah, I know. We're finishing
start
up.
on time.
Squishy.
Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, if you write the story properly, I don't think at any point in time, even in the rough outline we have for all the future chapters, there's no real point in time where we're like shuffling something off to the side and just be like, yeah, don't pay attention to this, but it happened.
Because here's the thing. When you have to Deus Ex, that is a sign of bad writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. That, or you're just having a laugh. And sometimes it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
If you don't know the author very well.
Yeah.
In this case, it's very clear the author's trying to be completely serious about it and not just...
Just ignore the plot holes I have to use contrivances to get around because I couldn't actually plan out a proper story with the setting I've created. Because then otherwise, my fucking jack-off mode engaged! My fucking special snowflake-ass character who's somehow more specials than everyone else and masters at dueling and transfiguration and the prettiest woman alive, and I can turn into anyone and I can see the future, and I was raped, but not really, but sort of, but it's okay now because I stopped being raped in my mind, and I'm a racist, blood purist, you know, even though I'm a non-human who racists and blood purists hate.
Yeah.
You done there, boy?
Maybe.
I think Elite 40K is trying to start some shit with you, by the way.
Dark Souls is shit. It feels as if the devs have pulled lore out of their asses.
I wouldn't say Dark... Here's
the thing. You, sir, are a 40K fan. You really want to go complaining about lore, buddy? You really want to go doing that?
I'm assuming Elite 40K was the 40K fan he was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go trigger him with that fucking Krieg fiction.
I still haven't actually looked at that. That was one of the nights I was gone.
That was one of the nights you were gone.
You know what? Bring it up. Bring it up.
I will bring it up. Ruby,
yeah, Elite
40K.
For the record, I'm not saying the 40k doesn't have some wonderful lore. It does. But it's also got some pretty bad lore. And yes, I know most of that can be blamed on recent years.
The death corpse of Ruby. I think this is it.
Are you ready for a Kriegsmarine that is not a Kriegsmarine? If you're not, too bad. This is your fault.
Yeah. See, we were gonna end the stream, but then you had to come in here with your I like 40k, but Dark Souls is shit!
Oh my god, you too. Stop being so petty.
Okay, no, Max. Hold up a minute. He says that the Dark Souls lore is shit. It feels like the devs have pulled it out of their asses.
Listen, the Dark Souls lore is not shit, but Miyazaki sure as hell pulled it out of his ass in half of that
Max,
game.
I'm not saying he didn't. I'm saying someone who's a fan of 40k.
Yeah, you're right.
Casting stones about that.
Orcs plus Space Marines is epic lore.
I don't know. Wait. Please tell me he means that there was a team-up between Orcs and Space Marines and not, God forbid, a slash fic.
That did happen, and yes, there probably is a slash fic.
I would not be surprised.
Why do we suddenly have an influx of people as we're about to trigger some 40k nerd?
I don't know. Where are these people coming from?
You people have showed up for the special extra edition of the stream because some 40k fan decided to cast stones about lore. Like I said, two of the people on this stream thoroughly enjoy 40k. We love it. We love the lore. Truly, we do. You know? But what in the name of Lehman Russ's overinflated ego do you think you're doing complaining about lore when you're a 40k fan? Come on, man. If you want to talk about ass pulls, let's talk about literally everything the Grey Knights have done, ever.
Okay, so I'm not actually going to read this out loud because, you know, we've already read this out loud before. But, No.
Sneaky, we have an influx of viewers. Let's reward them with garbage.
They call me a 40k nerd. I feel so proud of myself. We're calling you a 40k nerd not because you may or may not have played a tabletop, but because you're a big enough dork that you put 40k into your name, like some sort of fucking stoner who's like, oh yeah, man, I smoke weed. I gotta let everyone know I'm XX 420 weed smoker XX.
Oh my god, you two.
I'm not quite going that far. But Sneaky, come on, we have such an influx of viewers, we should reward them.
No, I have already read this bullshit, so I'm just gonna outline the bullshit.
Oh my god.
So here we have a Kriegsmarine with a, I'm pretty sure bolt pistols were, no, bolt pistols are fine for, right?
No, don't forget, he's got a luscious pattern bolter.
40k doesn't refer to Warhammer 40k? Well then, you have made a poor decision in life.
Indeed. What 40k does it refer to, my friend?
I'm curious about that, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually curious as to what Elite 40k could possibly refer to if it's not referring to Warhammer 40k. Production quality.
Oh my lord, I didn't mean for you to get in the chat, nose hair. Oh boy.
Oh no, what have I missed in the Discord?
Don't.
Oh.
Shh. You have bullshit to outline.
Why is he requesting Cheeky Breaky reaction? Why did he send me a picture? Why do people do these things of me? And Ghost Recon named 40k. Have you considered suicide?
Wait, what?
Character in Ghost
There's
Recon.
a character in Ghost Recon named 40k?
That's a problem with Ghost Recon.
There's a character named 30k?
See, I have more respect for you when you liked 40k enough to put it in your name. Now that you've mentioned that you put it in there because of Ghost Recon, my respect for you is actually lower than whoever the fuck named themselves Lord of Nosehair.
I also don't think that there's a character named 40k in there. I think it's 30k and he missed a digit.
Max, please look it up and find out that it is in fact 30k.
No,
And this
That's what
man's been
I'm
living a
doing. I
lie.
just typed in Ghost Recon 40k. Ghost Recon Wiki 30k. Nickname 30k. An operator in the Ghosts.
So not
He's in the
only did
same
you
squad
fuck
as
up,
John.
you fucked up several times in rapid succession. Congratulations, sir.
Out of our chat.
Oh wait, no, we need those views.
Okay, look, we all play Dota here. We all know that self-respect has nothing to do with Dota, and everything to do with those Peruvians and or Russians messing up your games, depending on what server you're on.
Welcome to the Kappa Club. Indeed. Alright, so with that being said, and with that all being done, thank you for joining us on this wild ride of Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9K. We do not own the copyrights to anything. We do not own anything, actually. We're pretty much all homeless or going to be at some point in time in the future. If you liked this shit, check out our YouTube page. It's all archived there. All, like, 6 months of this.
You know, that's intended to Spidey. He's ranting about all of this stuff, so...
Anyway,
Rant mode is still on. It's going to be on until this stream is over. If you disliked this, why the fuck are you still here?
There's lots of other content out there. Go find it. Support
You're kind of
them.
wasting your time and your life. If you liked this content and you want to see more, but have already watched 6 months of us shit on fanfiction, then join us at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays and Fridays, Eastern, United States time.
Now get out of here. Go to sleep.
If you want to see me play video games, I'll be here around whenever the fuck I wake up to whenever the fuck I feel like killing myself. Yeah, see you all next time.